Welcome back to the Millionaire Gym. My name is Tamika Carpenter Carlton. I help 6 and 7 figure business owners grow, scale, and sell your business. I'm super excited. If this is your first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. If not, thank you for coming back. Please share, like, tell a friend, tell a friend. Today, we're going to be talking about should you sell your or exit your business? The 5 questions to ask yourself. I think in anything you do, it's super important to ask yourself those hard questions, those questions that you would never think about asking yourself. But also, I think what's important is to know, am I asking myself the right questions? And if so, what do I need to do about them? The first question are, what are the signs it might be time to exit or sell your business, right? That question is super critical and super crucial because that lets you know where you are within your business process, right? Are you in the beginning stage? Are you in the middle? Or are you close to your selling or exiting phase, right? And a lot of times we don't know because we don't take into account where we are within our business process. A lot of times we just look at our revenue, our sales, and some of the other stuff. But truth be told, it's more than just that. It's about having the right time to exit and sell your business. Now, is it the right time to sell your business? Is it the right time to exit? I don't know. The only person who would know that is you because this is your business and you have to be in alignment with it, right? And then you have to also say to yourself, what are the signs that I'm getting, right? Is it that I keep bumping my head up against the wall? I'm not happy anymore. Is it that I want to retire? Is it that I want to pass this on to my children, create that legacy? What is it, right? Sometimes we don't think because we're overwhelmed and we're just moving, moving, moving. We're just going, going, going. But I'm here to tell you today, slow down, pause, take a break, and listen to what you're thinking and you're feeling. When you start to listen to what you're thinking and you're feeling, truth be told, it's okay. Right? And it's okay because guess what? Nothing will outweigh the fact of the matter is that you're on track. That's what counts is you're on track to selling and exiting your business in the process. The next question is, how do you know when it's time to call it quits? A lot of times in business, we don't know when it's time to call it quits or when it's time to actually move on, right? We're overwhelmed, we're doing the same thing, and we're just not happy anymore. Or you could love what you do and you're happy at what you do, but you're just not seeing the profits, you're not seeing the revenue. And you don't know what you don't know. You don't know that you can get additional help within your business to sell it, or you can exit it. And guess what? You could do it on your terms, but you don't have to keep bumping your head up against the wall, right? But these are the things that you should be asking yourself is how do you know when it's time to quit? You know, is it time to quit when you keep feeling overwhelmed, you keep feeling burnt out? Is it time to quit when you're not reaching your revenue goals? Is it time to quit when you keep getting stuck? Is it time to quit because you want to do something else? Your heart's driving you somewhere else, your passion driving you somewhere else. What is it for you? That's what you need to ask yourself. What is it for me that is going to get me to where I need to be? Is it that, I'm unhappy? Is it that I'm happy? I'm loving it, but I just can't take on the bandwidth? Or I have family issues that I have to deal with, or either my own issues that I have to deal with, and I can't do it anymore. What is it for you? Right? So think about it, right? Think about the signs of when it's time to exit or sell your business. Think about, right, for you, when is it time to call it quits? Those are some of the things you should think about. So, in the meantime, while you think about those, we're going to take a break and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk more about should you sell or exit your business? The 5 questions to ask yourself. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So, we've been talking about should you sell or exit your business? The 5 questions to ask yourself. So, we've been talking about what are the signs it might be time to sell or exit your business. We've also been talking about how do you know when it's time to call it quits. Now, we're going to talk about what happens if you don't sell or exit your business, right? A lot of times we don't think about the repercussions of if we don't sell or we don't exit. or even remotely have a plan in place. Sometimes that's what people don't understand is when you don't have a plan in place to exit or to sell your business, you are stuck with all the repercussions in your business. That is going into bankruptcy. That is having, just like when we went through the pandemic or a recession, right? Having someone else come in and control your business, or even being in a place where you're no longer able to take care of your business and do the things that you love to do. What is it for you, right? That's what you have to say to yourself. What is it for me that's going to allow me to press forward and move forward and know that, what happens if I don't sell? Am I going to be stuck in a business that I hate? Am I going to continue to be miserable? Am I going to continue to keep suffering? Or, right, if I don't sell, am I going to keep loving what I'm doing 5 years, 10 years from now? Am I going to grow, scale, leverage it? Am I going to bring on more people, right? Am I going to go international, global? What is it for you, right? You got to say to yourself, what happens if I don't sell or exit? If I don't exit and God forbid something was to happen to you, what happens? You know, will someone know to pass it on to your family if those are your wishes, right? Or are your partners, your stakeholders going to have your assets, or are they going to take your part of the company? What is it, right? And also, you have to say to yourself, are there any risks associated with not selling or exiting the business? And a lot of times we don't think about the risks. We don't think about, those things that can happen, that will happen, right? Is it a risk of, right, going into bankrupt? Is it a risk of, owing the IRS? Is it a risk of me not being able to manage the business no more? Or is it a risk of, I pass this out to my family and they just, do what they want with it. And, it turned into a whole circus. What is it? You have to ask yourself these hard questions. Because when you ask yourself these hard questions, the fact remains is guess what? The fact of the matter is when you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to continuously do this, I'm going to continuously move forward, your questions that have been answered will always prosper. But not only will they prosper, they will continuously grow to the next level. You have to also say to yourself, are there any risks associated to selling or exit? There are always risks. Just like when you go to the casino or if you, step outside your house one day, there are always risks associated to it. Are your risks now? Are your risks later? What are your risks? Those are the things that you want to think about within the process, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take another break and then we're going to come back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to the Million Dollar Gym. If this is your first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're coming back, share, like, tell a friend. We've been talking about should you sell or exit your business? The 5 questions to ask yourself. We've been talking about what are the signs it might be time to exit your business. What are your signs, right? If you believe in a higher power, are they telling you it's time to sell? Or is your gut, your intuition telling you it's time to sell? Or are your pockets a little funny, right, in your business and it's time for you to sell? Or how do you know when it's time to quit, right? Is your health deteriorating? Or is it that you're not reaching the people you want to reach? Or is it that you're not at the level that you feel is conducive and where you want it to be, a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now? What is it for you, right? Or what happens if I don't sell or exit my business, right? What happens, right? Is it that you cannot go on anymore, right? Or is it that you're going to be unhappy? Or is it that you're going to see the heights and the levels of, where you should be within your business? Or are you going to say, I can have levels to this, right? Because I'm at that process, at that state where it's going to be happy go lucky or it's either going to be a flop. Which one is it for you, right? Are there any risks associated to selling or exiting your business? Are there risks for you? The reality of there's risk for everything. There's risk, that you take every day within your business. Financial risks, legal risks, right? Risk of client customer care. There's so many risks. But the greatest risk of not selling or exiting your business is the fact that guess what? You can go into bankruptcy or you can have this reflect on anything that you have going on. And if that happens, guess what? You're going to be in a position, you're going to be in a place where you're not happy anymore and you're not in a safe space at all. And you don't ever want to feel like you're not in a safe space. You don't ever want to feel like, you're in an area, a gray area of your business. Because the fact remains is that when you're in a gray area within your business, selling and exiting sometimes can be cloudy, it could be unfocused, or it could just be, where you say to yourself, I can't do this. This is overwhelming. Does not need to be. And you should say, how do you go about finding a buyer or investor for your business? We don't know what we don't know, right? We don't know who's buying. We don't know who's an investor. We don't, especially if you're not in those networks, if you're not in those circles, if you're not around those community. A lot of times we just want to sell our business. We just want to put it out there on social media, or you want to put it out there on like a Craigslist or a Pacific BizBot or Pacific, online platform where they sell businesses, right? Not realizing that to the extent of that you're putting this out there, you're not, you don't have the right legal representation, you don't know how to negotiate, you don't know how to price it, right? You're just looking for a way out. And the remainder is, right, that's not a good way of going about it, right? You should say to yourself, how do I legitimately find these people, right? Do I go into these communities, right, and seek help? Do I reach out to people that I know that are in position that do this type of work, right? Or do I just say to myself, okay, let me continue searching, right? Let me put it out there. Let me see who comes to me. What is it for you, right? Because only you know what you know, right? And the thing about it is that when you're not looking or seeking to find those, then guess what? The fact remains is that you're in a position where you cannot and you won't be able to find a motivated buyer or an investor for your business because you don't have what it takes to be able to say, I have necessary documents, my business has made this much, I can show you everything in black and white, but you also don't have representation, right? And there's a process. Some people feel like I could just put something up, it'll go tomorrow. That's not how it works. It takes time, right? And the question remains is, should you sell or exit your business, right? Should you sell it? Are you at the point where you're able to sell it? Or should you exit, right? Because you want to retire. You want to do something different. You have to know that selling and exiting, right, are different strategies. Not only different strategies, there are different ways of having that out. But there's so many components that come along with it that people really don't know, right? And that's the key to having that exit and that strategy plan. But that's key also to knowing how to find the right buyers and investors. Because when you find the right buyers and the right investors in anything you do, what happens is that now you become coherent. Now you become in that space where you could say, listen, I found a buyer, I found somebody who's willing to take it, and it makes sense. And sometimes we don't know what questions to ask. We don't know what questions not to ask, right? Because we're not in those spaces. But the questions that you should be asking are, what are the signs it might be to sell or exit your business, right? How do you know when it's time to call it quits? What happens if you don't sell or exit your business? Are there any associated with risks with selling or exiting your business? And how do you go about finding a buyer or investor in your business, right? These are the questions you should ask yourself every day within your business, right? Are you at these milestones? Are you at these key points? If you're at any of these milestones and any of these key points, guess what? you might be in a good space where you're like, okay, I have this information. What do I do with it? I have this information. I'm ready to move forward. Or you could say, okay, I don't have all the details. I don't have all the backstory. I don't know if I'm ready to take on that risk. I don't know if I'm ready to take on selling or exiting my business right now. Let me stay in my business a little longer and prepare for me to exit or sell it, right? Or let me do my homework and my research and figure out what are these buyers and these investors seeking and looking for with a company like mine. Because when you do that, what now happens is that you're in a better space that you can say, okay, I have something viable. I have something that these investors are looking for. I have something that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if I go left or if I go right, the investors are there, the companies are there, right? And they're going to grab it, they're going to hold on to it, and they're going to do right by it, right? So it's never a question of, you know, should I? It's always, are you in a place to, right? Because should you exit or should you sell should always be on your mind in any business opportunity or any business that you are doing or seeking, right? Because you never know when you're going to need to sell, but you never know when you're going to need an exit, right? And if the pandemic has not shown you anything, it should have shown you that you need an exit plan in place, but you also need to have your business ready for sale. That if God forbid you have to sell and you have to flip it and turn it into some sort of investment, you can do that with options. The problem is we don't have options. The problem is we don't set ourselves up for success. The problem is we're not asking these hard questions, right? And it's okay if you're not asking yourself these hard questions. That stops today, because today you will ask yourself these hard questions. And then when you ask yourself these questions and you bring it to somebody like myself or somebody who's doing this, they can tell you like, okay, you might be in a place to sell, or you're not in a place to sell right now, but you might be in a place to exit, or you're not in a place to do either one, but you can do this, or you can do that. That's the key. What is it that you can do? And you have to know that you have options. You have to know that, listen, should I sell or should I exit my business? Because if you need to make a decision in a split of a second, are you selling or are you exiting? That's the question, right? Based on those questions, right? Do you know the signs, right? Do you? Do you know if your business is in an emergency state of mind, right? Or is your business in a not really an emergency state, but it's about to get there? Or I just hopped out of the emergency state, but I'm in a better state, right? But I want better. I want to grow scale, right? I want to do that. I want to sell. I want to leverage, right? You have to know these things. My question to you is, do you know these things for your business? And if you do not, it's okay because you're not alone. But today, should you sell or should you exit your business should be the question that you have on the forefront of your mind in your business. Because whether you're a startup, whether you're an established company, or whether you're in between or anything after that, you should always think about your end game. And that is, do I sell my business? Do I exit my business? What is it that I do within my business? What is it? A lot of times we don't know what we don't know. And it's okay, because the reality of it is, guess what? You are not alone. You are not alone. You are one of the many who are sitting here shaking their head like, maybe I should exit. Maybe I should sell. I don't know. Like, I understand. I asked myself these questions already. I don't know. But if you don't know, seek the help to know. Because in order for you to move forward, you are going to have to know what the signs that it's time to sell or exit your business. It could be 3 signs, it could be 5 signs, it could be maybe just one. What is it for you, right? It could be an internal sign, external sign. What is it for you? And also, how do you know it's time to call it quits? How do you know it's time to call it quits? Not anybody else telling you, not anybody else dropping it on you. What is your gut telling you? right? What is your heart telling you? And then what happens if you don't sell or exit your business? You gotta you gotta weigh out the pros and the cons of what would happen and what wouldn't happen, right? Always have pros and cons in your business. Have so many pros and cons that it don't even make sense. What outweighs what? Do your pros outweigh your cons? Do your cons outweigh your pros? Right? And if your cons outweigh your pros, then guess what? You need to shift, pivot, or rearrange some things in your business and make them in alignment with each other. As well as, are there any risks associated with not selling or exiting your business? There are always risks. What are your risks, right? Is it your risk that you're going to suffer, right? As long as you're in this business? Are you at risk that, it's going to cause you stress, and other health problems? Are you at risk that, you're not going to financially, get out of debt? What is it for you, right? That's what you need to say to yourself. What is it for me? What are the risks that I'm taking? What are the risks that I'm putting my business through? And how do you know about finding a buyer or investor for your business? The key remains is that they're out there. Are you looking for them? And are you looking in the right places? Right? And sometimes that's a simple, maybe put an ad up. That might be simple. Go to the communities where they are, right? There are always communities for buyers and investors and people looking for business owners. Do you know of any? Are you around any? Are you in the space of any? What is it for you? That's the question. That's the question. What is it for you? So when you ask yourself these 5 questions, I want you to really think about these 5 questions. I want you to sit down in a quiet space and I want you to really ponder on them, right? And then when you come to these questions and you're able to answer them, or you might not be able to answer them, then what I want you to do is go to bit.ly/free exit assessment. Take that assessment to see where you really are within your business, right? And see if you're ready to sell or you're ready to exit, or if you're not ready to do either or within your business. Because once you get to that point where you're able to do all of this, guess what? Make your next move your best move. So I want to say to you guys, wherever you are in the world, thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up for yourself. And thank you for always coming back week after week. And if you're new, right, come back next week where we'll be talking more about different things. But I want to say to you out there, should you sell or exit your business? Ask yourself these 5 questions every day until you get the answers that you're looking for. I want to say thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming. And we'll see you next week.